Hey, good morning, YouTubers. This is Mr. Fix-It coming at you. I was set to do a review on this vacuum. Well, first of all, when I ordered it, I thought it was a regular vacuum hose, but it turns out it's a pool vacuum hose, and I don't have a pool. So anyway, when I get the thing, it brings back some memories. I don't know if any of you out there experience this, where it's like deja vu, but it's more exact. Like you actually know what moment this is reminding you of this one thing that happened to me. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to tell you a story, Mr. Fix-It story. Okay, so I'm working with these two guys. Let's call them Marty and Frank, okay? And we get to this job. Well, the history behind the job is that the mother died, and the place was up for sale because it was given to the son. Well, the son was taken away to the mental institution because he was sitting in the middle of a road with a bow and arrow, naked. So they basically took him away. They sold the property. But in other words, the property was kind of unique because his part of the house at the end was set up, and it was like you could walk in, and there was a bottom floor, and the ceiling was higher, so they built this kind of, I don't know, like a cockpit. So there was a couple steps you'd step up in the middle of the room, and it was where he slept. So he slept up in this, it was like a pod. And then the rest of the area was like where he had his company and all. But on the property, we kept finding snake skins, like they were like 6 feet, 4 to 6 feet long, where the snake had shed its skin. And they were all over the house. I mean, up in the attic and, in the walls. So I found out through Marty that this Frank, well, that's what we're calling him. This Frank was deathly afraid of snakes. Well, so I'm thinking, well, this guy, I've worked with him before, and we, with the flat tire, that trick where they put, WD or ethanol on it, and then they light it, and it blows the tire out, and the bead of the tire, goes up against the rim, then you can blow it up again. Well, he did that many times without even thinking. And I mean, he was an operator, heavy equipment. So I'm thinking, how afraid of snakes can he be? Well, the one day, I got the snake skins hanging on the door, and he wouldn't leave. He wouldn't go through the door until I took the snake skins away. So I'm like, okay, so maybe he is afraid of snakes. So we're working on this property, and on the edge of the property, or on the edge of one of the walls in the living room, they had this step that stepped up against the wall. Well, they use that to hide stuff. Instead of putting it underneath the floor, they just put it over top and then build a step. So Monty happens to be the tile guy and the floor guy. Okay, so he's getting the floor ready, making the subfloor all level, making sure it's all flat, because some of these subfloors are unbelievable. So naturally, this step can't stay. We got to get rid of this step, because that's not normal. It's not normal to walk into a living room and you got a step next to the wall. So so the one day he's taking this step apart. Well, Frank's right there in the room with us, and he's taking a step apart. Well, next thing I know, he's over there working on the step, and he jumps up. Oh my God! I found a snake! I found a snake! With this pipe that was in this step, and he's throwing this thing around, and he's like he can hardly hold it. He's like, oh my God! I found a snake! Well, this Frank, no lie, ran out the door as fast as he could to his truck, screaming like a girl. I mean, I can't even, when I say, I'm not being feminist, I'm saying the his scream was so screechy, so high, I didn't think a man could make that sound. So he runs out of there, screeching. We had to walk out to the truck and tell him that it was just a hose, that he didn't have to be afraid. I mean, it was amazing. It was funny as hell. But these two guys were constantly busting on each other. Like Monty, he can't stand rats. Or Marty. There was a Monty too. But Marty can't stand rats. So these two guys are going back and forth doing practical jokes on each other. And it was kind of comical sometimes. Because Frank would think of all kinds of things to do with rats. And just this snake thing, I never thought anybody could be that afraid of a snake. But I found out real fast what was going on. So there's some fun happening on these locations for Mr. Fix-It. So most of the time I work alone, but when I do get somebody on the property, it is pretty comical sometimes. So be like Frank, stay away from the snakes because they'll get you. I hope you enjoyed the story, guys. Thought I'd do something different. Gets kind of old just doing reviews and, doing fix-it videos and stuff. So I figured I'd share this with you. If you like it, show it. Put it in the comments. Share the video. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. This is Mr. Fix-It. I'm out.